Okay. Does my microphone work? Sort of. The copy I just had for you. Okay.
I'll get it back. Well,
Oh,
as the agenda, that's that one here.
okay, we're organized. Let's wait one more minute. Heidi is just arriving. Welcome, Heidi. So I'll call this meeting to order. If we could have a roll call, please, starting with Will.
Will Radebush here.
John Sampen here.
Jeff Howe's here.
Heidi Rieger.
We have second on the agenda, the approval for the minutes. I know Will has suggested some minor edits.
A couple editorial things on agenda item number 4E. And I talked to Jeff about this, just to change it to read this like 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth line down to modifications have been made, period, to delete fireplace, comma, added entrance, parentheses, comma, and then start with a capital S, sum, and then add modifications were made to 503 Buttonwood. And then the rest of it reads good.
Okay.
And the other thing I didn't know on agenda item 6D, I think that was probably the HPC, like the second line down. This says Sampson suggested scheduling the next hearing for the next HPC, probably.
Yes, yeah, I caught that, but I forgot to
Yeah.
take it
Got it.
off. And I did 2 other typos as well.
That's it,
2
nothing.
others.
Other than that, it looked really good. And I'd make a motion that we accept the minutes
Okay,
Oh, thank you.
from
I'll second.
March 26th.
Everyone in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No. Great.
Nope. Just trying to find it.
Okay, welcome, Christina. We are in full complement today. It's great to have all of us here. Administrative items. Next meeting should be scheduled for June 25th. Does that work for everyone? Okay,
Same time, same place.
same place. 4 o'clock. It might be a little shorter. I'm in the middle of my Super Sax camp that week, but I can make that meeting. I did have one extra administrative item, a request from George Winters. He suggested that we discuss the possibility of an HPC member sitting on the BG Song Board. And
The what? The song
the
board?
BG Song, the organization, how do we describe it? Save Our Neighborhoods, yes.
That
It's a new organization as of this year that has made, I think, a considerable impact on zoning issues. There's been a lot of projects. I should have Rose maybe speak to all the things you're doing. Would you like to say a word?
So Bowling Green Save Our Neighborhoods group formed after City Council voted to accept some of the recommendations that a loose group of citizens, we weren't formed as an organization yet, but a group of citizens were concerned about the central residential neighborhoods. So, and City Council decided to take some of our recommendations for changing the draft zoning code. So once we finished with that, we had a lot of energy and decided to form a nonprofit organization to improve housing in neighborhoods in the city. So recently, our inaugural project was the Rock the Block project, which we held on April 6th and May 4th. We assisted 18 homeowners in the pedestrian residential district north of Worcester Street, with one exception, and that person was on Goral. So anyhow, we are interested in broadening the representation on our board, and George Winters is on our board, so he suggested that we reach out to the HPC to see if someone from your group would like to join us.
Thank you, Rose. So is this legally any problem, Heather, from your standpoint? Do you see any issues?
I'm not sure. This is new territory for me.
Okay, me too. Let's assume that it's agreeable. Do we have any of our members that would be willing to sit on their board? Maybe we need to think about it for a few days, and I can send emails, and we'll see if there's a volunteer.
How often does the board meet?
We meet once a month.
Once a month.
What day?
We meet on Mondays from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's the second Monday of the month. So our next board meeting will be June 10th,
Did you say 6:30 to
8.
8?
And where do you meet?
We meet in the, should I stand?
Sorry.
Trinity United Methodist Church basement. They're graciously letting us use their fellowship room for our meetings. But we also meet via Zoom because it's just more convenient for some people not to come in person.
How many people are in your group?
Well, we have a membership of about 65 people, and on our email list are some friends of BG Song. So the total email sent out is about 85. Currently we have 8 people on our board, and 2 of those people have terms that are expiring in September.
So yeah, I've noticed the Rock the Block signs, and friends and neighbors are like, "What is that? What are they doing? And who are they?" So it's good to know a little bit more.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you. We tried to get the word out by running ads in the BG Independent, and we will shortly do a letter to the editor as well. But we hope to inform sort of the broader community with that. But also the Independent and the Sentinel have both done articles about the project. The April 6th project was really cool because we partnered with a class of 14 students in a leadership and service class at BGSU taught by Adam Smith, who's with the Marvin Center for Student Engagement.
What were you guys doing? Is something to do with cleaning the facades or power washing or something like that?
It was exterior work. We
Okay.
did yard work, power washed windows. We did minor repair projects. At one person's home, we replaced the ramp to her shed because it was dangerous for her to get in and out. We repaired another homeowner's fence, and we let's see.
There was
Another,
painting.
oh yeah, we did painting.
And we planted
We
quite
planted
a few trees.
native trees. We purchased 6 trees through the city's canopy tree program and planted those. And the Wood County Park District gave us native plants that we planted at the, I think about 10 homeowners places. Yeah.
It's all volunteer, or are you raising money for it
Yeah.
too? Or
No, we got a grant from the Bowling Green Community Foundation, which was sort of the startup money, and then we raised about an equal amount in in-kind donations and donations from some businesses and individuals in the community. So the amount we raised was almost equal to the $3,750 that we got from the BG Community Foundation. And then we had 60 volunteers for April 6th, university and community, about half and half, which was fabulous. The community came out. And on May 4th, it was almost all community because the students were mostly gone, and we had 40. Yeah,
oh, thank you.
yeah, thanks.
It's a terrific
it looks
community project, and many of these are older homes with homes that the residents are unable to take care of them, and so the concern is to make our community look better, and it certainly has helped. So, great.
Thanks.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can find one of our members to join the board, the BG Song Board. Okay, moving on to local designations. First item, Christina was working on the country club, and she's just stepped out, so we'll come back to that in a moment. Some of these we put on the agenda, but I think there hasn't been any action lately. Jeff, anything on the?
I haven't heard anything about the South Main School. Have you, Rose?
Okay. Former hospital, Anissa Miller. No further information on that at this point. I put on here too the Little Red Schoolhouse. There was a suggestion from Patrick Skaggs, I think I'm pronouncing that right, that this be considered as a historic site. And that's something maybe we can return to in a future meeting to consider. This is the schoolhouse that was moved, I don't know, from the country. Do you know where it was from? Countryside?
I know I've read it. It came from fairly far away from Bowling Green. It might have been outside of Wood County originally, but I don't.
But it's now located on the university, BGSU University. Okay, help for local designation of Jean Ladd. Will, you were working on that?
With, on Buttonwood?
503 Buttonwood.
I met with Gene and Charles Ladd last week. We had some phone number issues, but we got that straightened out. So I was waiting for them to call, and I'd called the number, and it wasn't a correct number. But I met with them, and we're working on inventory to complete it. I've got to go over and take the photographs of the house and they did some historic write-up for the inventory.
Great.
So it's one of those kinds of things where architecturally it's not as fancy as, say, some of the houses on East Worcester, but it's got some significance. And I think it might have been one of the original neighborhoods. I think that neighborhood was, I think, there before some of the houses on East Worcester. And the list of owners, but the Ramies were probably the most famous ones that were prominent citizens in some of their businesses here. I think he may have started Henry Filder, that had ice cream business. And so we'll write something up, because I went through the list of criteria that have to be met, and it does definitely meet the 50 years, because I think it was built in 1888. But then when you go through there, I think the other is there's some significant connection of the people that live there and the establishment of Bowling Green.
Great. Thanks for working on that.
Did you say Henry Filters?
I think so. There was a connection there, and they think that Mr. Rames he was the president of it, and they think he may have founded it.
So you're working with Gene and
Yes,
filling out
yes.
the application
Yes.
for that.
Yep.
Do you think that will be ready by next meeting?
Yes, that's what I told them. I'd like to present it
Okay.
next June.
Okay, excellent. Okay, I am added on my own agenda two other suggestions, both from Rose Drain. Rose wrote me and I think Heather about the possibility of considering the old windmill building as a historic site. Heather, you had maybe some background on the owner of that property?
I know who owns it. Yep, it's Maurer family.
And we're maybe concerned that there might not be an interest from the family in pursuing that. But we could try. We could certainly make a proposal. I'd like to see that windmill put back up. I know it was here when I came to Bowling Green in 1977. I enjoyed driving by that space. Okay, we'll keep that as a possibility. The other Rose Drain suggestion was to encourage the university to take their university pond and park, which used to be the golf course, and turn that into a walking space for the community. Am I saying this correctly, Rose? Yes, please, since this was your suggestion.
So that was in the 2018 Community Action Plan, I think, or else it was in the city's 2014 Community Improvement Plan, that idea to change it into a walking space. So, but it also has historic significance because I believe it's the site of the Women's Club pool that it was used. I think that is the location of what the 1920 Women's Club of Bowling Green had as one of their first projects, was making that a swimming pool.
And I think you said that the lake was it dug out, and the materials were used for building in Bowling Green. I'm forgetting exactly.
I think it's a quarry, right? I think, but I'm not real certain on those
Yeah.
details.
Yeah, so we need to do some more research on that. But it may take some convincing to the university. We can certainly propose something.
Somebody, it wasn't my idea. It was in the 2018 Community Action Plan, which is where I found it and thought that you might be interested because of the historic significance as well of that space.
Great.
Yeah.
Do I understand correctly that the pond that is there was originally a swimming pool for the
Well,
women's club?
I think it was the swimming hole.
Swimming hole.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still a swimming hole for the geese and the ducks.
Golf balls. It used to be. Probably
golf
High
golf
school
balls.
seniors.
Okay, thank you. Christina, we're going to go back to letter A. Do you have any development on the article for the golf course?
No, I'm just doing the article for that
working on it.
site
Okay.
of the month, correct?
Right, and I think we're targeting that for August. Will that be? that
That's what we
still
talked
will be
about.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Okay, thank you. Okay, interpretive signage project. We are nearing the end. I just, an update of some of the recent activities. We had a celebration committee party on May 5th. Jeff wasn't able to attend, but we toasted your absence, and also Heather. Heather, that may have been your birthday. No?
No, it was a rare day off with my family.
Okay. There was a short meeting that Heather had with the courthouse people on May 9th, and I was part of that just to try to determine the location of that sign. I think we have solved that particular problem. You, Heather, had a meeting with John Shercliffe on May 13th, a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Was there anything to report from that? Do you recall?
No, it was just working on the installation details because each sign is very unique as far as the location and how they will be installed. So we went and met Zoom with him and our public works staff to go through each sign. We have a picture of each one, where it's going, how it's being installed, and then our public works employees have some work to do prior to the installation.
And that was another meeting you had a little bit later, right, with Public Works?
Yes, we walked every site again too, and yes, definitely
So I
a lot of
think
details.
I think we know where they're going. We don't know when they'll be going up. The last report was about 5 weeks from when we had all the signs submitted. So that's probably what, July? We're almost into June. I would think it's we'll hope for sometime in July. We still need QR materials for the QR code. I don't know if anybody has been gathering those, but we all need to be working on that material. Any other comments about the sign project?
Just that the QR code material should include the sources, not only additional sources, but the sources of the material that is on the sign. The state group commission emphasized that we need to, back it up with the source information.
Yeah, so I was gonna try to finish what my QR code signs would say and then send that sample again. Just typing in, the Sentinel, August 12th, 1926, and, just, again, some sources for where I got the information.
So maybe that's a good suggestion that we all take our own signs and add that. Do we have a format that we want to use for this, Heather?
Yeah, so I emailed the committee just a Word document I had started, and I listed each sign and each topic by the sign numbers that we've been using.
Okay.
And then I put each person's name by the sign who wrote about the sign or researched the sign.
Okay, great. I tried to get Marnie to share her walking tour with us, but I don't think she is interested in doing that. But I think there are other materials that we can be thinking about. So let's keep that in mind, and just send me anything if you have ideas about other important things that we want to have in that code. All right, North Maple Street District. Updates and next steps. In March, we reviewed the survey indicating 60% support from North Maple. Will and Heidi did a review of the non-contributing and undesignated properties. And then Heidi and I did another walkthrough to kind of review the architecture and how we might describe them, the structures that are there. By the way, Heidi sent me, and I don't know, maybe we could share this with the whole committee. Heidi, the architectural style.
I thought I sent it to the whole group.
Pardon me?
I thought I sent it to the whole group.
Everybody has that?
I think I sent everybody everything I sent.
Okay. I think that's a great tool. You all know what we're talking about. This is the booklet with drawings like this.
Okay.
So it helps me figure out what I'm looking at anyway. Did you all get a copy?
Was that with the links?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that
put
was the
one up, I didn't
Cincinnati
print it
one.
out.
Okay.
Cincinnati.
I think the one you're looking at is from Cincinnati. There was also one from Detroit, so it might be one of those, either one of those.
So I prepared with all of your help some text about North Maple and some background to some of the homes. And we're still editing that a little bit, but I think it describes that neighborhood pretty well. If anyone has more suggestions, please send them to me. My hope is that this gives us some documentation and some rationale for why this might be considered our first North Maple Street Historic District. I know, Heather, at our last meeting, you were concerned that we didn't have enough data. Do you think this solves that problem?
I think the more the merrier. I think it's the, as much as you can get, I would collect. And if you feel it's sufficient, then whenever you're ready.
What I offered to do but haven't done yet is to go through the city directories and just get a list of the names at those addresses, which will be simple enough because you can look it up by street, right? So I can look up North Maple. I just
think-
have to go do that.
I think we have that.
Oh, you do already? Okay.
I think Heather provided that for us somewhere in one of these sheets. I'll have to look for it.
So
With name-
everyone who's lived there
with
since the
names
beginning of the
and
20th century.
a date of their
Oh,
home.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I just did the most recent. I was just
Put the current
looking at
owner.
the current owner, right? Sorry, I don't have that kind of time. That's quite a project.
Yeah.
Okay.
He means historical directories, looking
Yep.
back to the different years when they were built and then so on.
So this is with the aerial photos,
Right, I just looked at the current ownership and
Yeah.
tried to look if it
Right.
listed when it was built.
right? And Heidi helped me decide what we should call various homes. We have a lot of, there was only, I think only one craftsman, but we have a lot of what do we call them again, Heidi?
I think a few of them are the Eastlake style, which is just Victorian Eastlake with decorative trim. There was a front gable with a wing,
Right.
and most of them have hip roofs as well. So just a classic, ubiquitous, all over the city kind of house style.
And it represents a lot of what was happening in Bowling Green in the early 1900s when we were starting to grow a little larger as a city. Okay, so are we ready to call for a I'm looking for the right word. The meeting with the public.
Public hearing?
Thank you. Public hearing. What do you think?
I move that we schedule a public hearing.
The thought I had, and I think it works the best, is if we just make the public hearing one of our future meetings, and it could be the next one. I think we had, Heather, some, was it the next meeting that you had a partial conflict with? A soccer match or something?
I'm not sure. I should be okay.
I think I'll be out of town.
Is there a certain number of days notice that have to be to the public
30 days
before
or
the hearing?
I'm not sure if the ordinance got that specific. I'll have to look again.
But Heidi's out of town. Maybe it should be when we all can be here. That would put us into what, July?
The July meeting, yeah.
Is it possible to predict our membership attendance for that date? That would be the fourth Tuesday in July.
That would be the 23rd of July.
I should be around.
Does that look okay?
So far.
I should be around.
I should be here as well.
Okay, let's tentatively plan on that. If somebody finds they can't be there, I don't want to put it off too long. So
I think that-
if we have to go with one less member, we can do that. But if we can all be
So I
here.
will probably just need to fill in for me because that's, I think, my 1 week of vacation.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll see what we can do.
The July meeting is your vacation? Then maybe could we do it for June then? Could we do it the next meeting without Heidi?
Yeah, it's up to you. Whenever you schedule it,
Okay.
just we need to know for our official notification.
That's fine.
Okay. Christina, are you okay on that date?
What about August? I mean, I feel like summer is pretty busy for people. You might get more of a showing if it's later and getting ready for the closer to the school year. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm just worried about getting all of us here in good numbers. But you're talking about the public coming and participating and or
Yeah.
not.
Well, right, and I think you would want both of them here, right? Heidi and Heather. Because as of right now, June and July, you're missing one of them.
I'll be here in August. We're starting school then.
Yeah,
August.
I know.
Summer's-
So am I.
That's
Yeah.
probably better, August.
Okay.
The August is better then, because you're one of our experts on the neighborhoods, so.
Okay. We'll plan that public hearing for August then. It sounds like we have consensus on that. And
So August 27th at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
27th. Public hearing. Excellent. All right. Friends of HPC, Historic Buildings of the Month. May Lynch House, and that's posted, correct? That's,
I honestly can't remember if it went out yet or not. I know it's been done for a while, and
I usually
I
remember
haven't
those
seen
things,
it yet, but
I think it may have. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
okay. May is hopefully going to be the Lynch House. June, Carter House. July, the Tabor House. August, BG Golf Course. Then I have tentatively September, the Painted Lady House on North Prospect. October, Huntington Bank, old building. That was a proposal. I don't know if we had for sure decided on that.
No, those are all proposed and can be changed. Someone recently suggested a possibility. I thought it was in our, no, I don't recall.
When I met with the lads, they're amazing amount of history that they had. They've lived in that house 40 years, and they started talking about all the businesses and things. And Gene Ladd even offered to maybe write an article on Kermit's, the whole history of Kermit's, because there's been multiple restaurants there, and a lot of community people have worked there over time. So maybe at some point, Heather, you could maybe send Jean some sample articles that, that she could look at to write something about Kermit's.
Yeah, or if you even want to take her one, if you end up meeting with her,
I'm
she doesn't
gonna-
have email.
Yeah,
Maybe that'd be
Okay.
easier too. Just let me know. I can print you off some.
okay.
No,
Might
I've
be
rec-
nice considering they just changed ownership recently, just to give them a little more exposure, a little more press.
So if there's an open month, late in fall, probably to,
I think we should regard everything after August as open, right? If we have
she may need
different
she may need
ideas than
some
the
time to
ones
put it together.
that I proposed. I recalled, and I'll get to you, Rose, in a second. I just recalled the building that I was thinking of, Dale. You suggested it at our last meeting. It's a building that doesn't exist anymore, but there was the gun factory that then also became a woman's dorm at the university.
Ivy Hall.
Ivy Hall, yeah. That's another possibility that you mentioned. Do you have enough information for I help you write the article?
I've got a little postcard. I think something was written in the PG News once.
Well, let's keep it in mind, and,
I wrote an article for the Journal way back when.
oh,
on the
okay.
building. It was mainly how it moved from Defiance over here, and then gave the history of what was in there. Laundry company.
Well, I'll get back with you, and we can come up with something to propose for a future building of the month. Rose, what were you going to say?
Well, I can say it during lobby visit.
Okay.
Unless you want me to bring it up now.
I had two other things that maybe you had proposed, Jeff. The public defenders on North Summit.
Yeah, actually, someone else proposed it, but I carried it over when I was
Okay.
putting together the possible schedule. Yeah,
And then the other one was the glass factories that are no longer here, but
Yeah.
but there could be a good story about that.
that's something we've talked about all along, and at some point it would be nice to
Right.
talk about that. And I'd be happy to do it toward the end of the year. What did I put it down for
This
for
is-
December? Yeah. Why don't we keep that as a possibility for December?
Okay. Okay, well, we're still good through August, so now the North Prospect House, the Painted Lady was handling that one.
That was another one that I took over from somebody else's suggestion.
Okay,
I don't know, does anyone here know about that? Or we can consult with people from the Genealogical Society,
yeah.
see if Dick knows something.
I just wrote it down as
Yeah.
something that you had suggested. And we don't want you to have to write all these, Jeff.
No,
so,
I wasn't planning to. I'm happy to do some, but it's better if
Share the,
get them from the public and
Share the
other
joy.
members.
yeah.
I like doing them, though.
Yeah, and it is a great public interest story. We've got a lot of good comments.
Yeah, I noticed that even the police website reprints it or republishes it online, yeah.
So that's great.
Which house is the Painted Lady? Is it near Jimmy John's?
I'm sorry?
Jimmy John's?
Yeah, it's at the corner of, let's see, Oak and North Prospect.
237 North Prospect.
And it's painted in a fancy way.
Yeah.
Right there, you can see it.
Oh, you can see it from here. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion about historic buildings? We'll move on then. Public relations. Historic opportunities, workshops, events. So let's see if I can find those. Past workshops, Wood County District Public Library, genealogy chats, they were happening, I think, every other week in May. Wood County Museum, First Fridays, and Make It and Take It craft. That was on May 3rd. Lady Bradbury's Ball, May 3rd through the 5th. Anybody go to the ball?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Future workshops, events, Wood County District Public Library genealogy chats, June 5th, 2 o'clock. Boomtown Walking Tour, June 8th, and I know those fill up quickly. Finding Your Family Tree, June 14th. And then If These Walls Could Talk, July 22nd, 2 o'clock. Wood County Museum, First Free Fridays, June 7th, 10 o'clock to 4. Music at the Museum, June 13th, 6 to 9 p.m.
And those will continue through September.
Is there I assume there'll be an advertised schedule on?
Yeah, you can, it's already up
Okay.
on.
Okay. Author meet and greet, Kate Moore, June 15th, 2 o'clock. And then you can look those up at woodcountyhistory.org for more information. National Preservation Month, we've been celebrating all of May. The History Lives Here signs. I've seen people doing little bicycle trips around, reading about our wonderful old houses. Plans for Tell Your Story at Juniper. How are we doing on that?
Yeah, I think we just decide what sort of day of the month we want to host it, and I'm happy to set it up. You know, if we want to do it on a monthly basis, how often do you think you want to do something like that? Once a quarter, once a month? How would you like to set it up?
What do you think?
We could just host one and see how
I think
the response is.
I'm thinking we should just try one.
Try one?
And just see how the response is. I suspect there'll be a lot of interest. What do you think about like a day of the week?
For Juniper, it would have to be on a Sunday night or a Monday night, most likely, or a Wednesday night. Any of those would be,
Sunday, Monday, or Wednesday.
yeah.
We'll need somehow to advertise this.
A Juniper would be happy to advertise it on our social media.
Okay.
We'll have to make sure to get it on
I can
Historic
work with,
BG on Facebook, because there's a lot of people doing this already on Facebook.
I can work with Heather on that.
Yeah, we can do a press release and
Yep.
work it through our communications department.
Yep.
Do you want to start in summer? What do
Sure.
you think is a good time?
I think it's a great time. Let me look at some dates and I'll email the group.
And what would be length of the session? 2 hours, 1 hour?
I think it's okay just to say a start time and,
Go up and
yeah,
maybe we
maybe
should,
like 7 PM or something like that.
7 PM, 7 to 9, maybe 15 minutes limit. Some people get
might want-
wordy.
I thought it was.
I'll let you say that at the, at the event.
That sounds great.
I thought I read that somewhere. I was trying to find it. We had to.
15 might not be enough for some people.
So we're just getting into June. Do we need a month to pull this off?
You want to try July?
So
Yep.
why
I
don't we-
can
why
send
don't
some
we do
dates in July. Yep.
Good, good.
I think that's great.
Okay.
Excellent. What
This
else?
is specifically to tell stories about your house
About your home or
yourself.
or your
Any of the above. Heidi.
Oh, okay.
Any of the above. I think.
All right.
or maybe have a historic person you want to highlight from 1850. Yeah, I think it could be anything.
Yeah, last time Will even mentioned that people could talk about the problems they're having with their houses. And so-
Or their mental health. So I don't know.
Or they're meant.
My house is a disaster right now. We have a dishwasher that leaked under the floor. We didn't know about it for some time, and right now we had heaters and blowers going in the kitchen for a week. We can't use the kitchen at all. It's drying out, and we're going to have a brand new floor and a brand new dishwasher, but it's been a mess. So I could tell that story.
I hope it will be a historic dishwasher.
I don't think it'll be a very interesting story, but all right, great. America 250 Ohio. I just had
Somewhere.
a mention of that. I don't know what that means. Heather, do you have any?
Yeah, I emailed you and made copies in your packet before about whether the city should participate or not. It'd probably be a recommendation.
And
Not, we should.
that's,
Wait.
is there a deadline on, there must be. I'll have to look that up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember without
Yeah, I don't
combing
either.
through everything again.
Okay, all right, we'll check that out. Heather, I know you just were, you just mentioned having attended one of the, or watched one of the podcasts that was very informative. Any feedback on that?
There's been so many. I try to watch whenever they come up because they're free because we're members of a couple different organizations. But I don't remember. I just know there's a big push right now for historic preservation and affordable housing because of the huge housing need all over the country. So that's why it was interesting, I thought, to me, all the different things. But then a lot of it goes back to zoning and a lot of it goes back to historic tax credits and just a lot of tools out there and different state regulations that are, people are trying to relook at changing. So just things like that. But if you're able to watch it, I would encourage people to do that. And then on June 11th, I'm going to go to one in person that I think looks really interesting, so I can report better about that one.
Bowling Green did just win an affordable housing tax credit award. It was just announced middle of May, so there will be another affordable housing tax credit property built here in Bowling Green.
Great. What, you don't know the date?
It was just announced in May.
Just
So
announced.
the award was just announced in May.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Keep telling us about these things. That's great. Okay, we had in our packet from Heather, the Genealogical Society newsletter and a great article that Dick Martin wrote on rabbit holes. I don't know if you had a chance to read that, but
I didn't go all the way down the rabbit hole yet.
but I thought that was so interesting. This concerning the battle between Bowling Green and Perrysburg for the county
10-year
seat.
war.
Yeah,
10-year war.
in 1866. I think he really did a terrific article.
Very good.
All right, that's all I have. Lobby visitation. Rose, you,
So I spoke 2 weeks ago tomorrow with the folks that own the property at South Prospect and Clough. And
Yeah.
it's a brick home. It's
Jessica.
a really cool brick home. I love it because the placement of the bricks is like so random, and it's just really there. I don't know of any other home in Bowling Green that's like that. So when I was talking to them, she said that I think maybe the builder is the same builder who did St. Al's Church. So anyhow, they are interested in nominating their home for the Historic Building of the Month, and they're also willing to write the article. So I hope that maybe you will decide to take them up on that sooner rather than later, since they are enthusiastic about it. And then just today, I got from Drew Hanna the contact information for John Holt. He and his wife Nikki bought the Hanna home on Scott Boulevard, and he is extremely excited about having their home nominated for Historic Building of the Month. And he has a lot of information, and I think he'd be willing to write the article. So right before this meeting, I sent Heather and copied to John an email that I sent to John Holt. And John Holt also wants to see if their home can be put on the registry in Bowling Green.
excellent. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
for
very excited
recruiting
about
for
that.
us.
So, and one suggestion regarding the Tell Your History event, there are so many people downtown on Wednesdays for the farmers market that I think that would be a really good, the farmers market ends at 7, so it could be a good segue for people to go from the farmers market to the event at Juniper. Not on the 3rd, because that's when the fireworks are.
I
Thank
think
you.
that house you talked about, the on South Prospect and Clough, I think that's like a Tudor style house. So that's
okay.
good. Timber frame, if it's the one I'm thinking of, but it has like a lot of random brick and
Yeah.
timber framing
and
the
like
eaves.
really the front door is very interesting because it's arched and the window is round, and then on the side of the house there's like really curious tiny window.
It's a medieval trickle down from medieval to Tudor.
Okay. Well, anyhow, it's fun. And Margaret Weinberger, I think, could possibly be interested in having her home be nominated. It's the really, really old brick house just past the Montessori school. It's on the right-hand side as you're going around that curve. Old brick house.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
The mason, I think he lived there in the Torres house, Jessica's house. He did the building that's on Route 65, the big church. I forget what the
Nazareth Hall.
Nazareth Hall. He did like the big boys, the one that got demolished. I was trying to find some pictures of the big boy because I was actually able to go in and take pictures of the walls and the exterior before they demolished it. The mason looks like they had fun because they look like they distorted the bricks, twisted them before they're baked. So you could actually probably rock climb on walls. There's still one, the big boy up on Reynolds, North Reynolds.
Yes.
It's right there by the Myers.
Fire.
And it still exists. There was one in Finley. It got demolished. It's a gas station now, but if you have a chance, stop by the one that's up off of Reynolds and you can see it. But that's what did the Torres house do and lived there, I think.
What was the name that you put in front of house? I couldn't understand it.
Torres?
Torres,
Torres.
it's Turos, Torres, I think.
Okay, thanks.
Prospect and Clough. Where Ivan Van Besten lived.
Where then Bestons lived, yeah.
Right.
Turos.
Thank you.
That's supposedly got a bullet hole in the door.
Oh,
I thought
from,
it was across the street, maybe.
I'm sorry?
I thought the bullet hole was in something where maybe a house where the parking lot's at. I'm not sure.
I thought he told me we ride bikes one time and it was in his door.
Could be because I thought I heard that they'd sighted over the hole or something.
Okay.
Somebody.
Dale?
I have nothing.
Nothing today? Okay, any other business?
Well, I gave a little presentation at the senior center at the beginning of May to about 18, 20 students, senior citizens, and that was very interesting. Good feedback, and I was supposed to do a walking tour, but I had to delay it because I had strep throat, so I might do another turn around. But that talked about styles to look at and the history of them a little bit. So that was fun.
Maybe you should do a walking tour for our commission. That would be fun. We'll think about that one.
But that's like the house they're looking for.
Is there a methodology to that? That's so interesting.
Okay, I think we have exhausted our business for today, so thank you very much. Anybody wish to call for adjournment?
Make a motion that we adjourn.
seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.